Wait, what does it make San Diego Comic-Con fun again? Make SDCC F make San SDCC
This is great.
F A. Okay.
These are your public school tax funds at work, folks, right here.
Dude, that's way too many acronyms right there, dude.
It really is.
I lose track after 3. That's why I love chanting ECW and WCW. But I mean, once you add more letters, I'm done, dude. I'm done.
Yeah, and KFC.
And Mickey D's.
And Mickey D's, yeah.
MC. Let's go get some MCD, dude. Let's go get their breakfast.
Well, I'm certainly not going to JITB. They have too many letters.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is
Scott.
Hey, yo. Is that his younger brother? It's gonna be
Jeff.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
And you're listening to
all of the great action figures from our good friends at Hasbro.
the Fullyposeable
Have your own WrestleMania with all your favorite figures.
Wrestling Figure
Each sold separately from LJN.
Podcast.
And we are the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling.
Hey, welcome to episode 497 of the Fullyposeable Wrestling Figure Podcast, longest running episodic wrestling figure podcast going today. My name is Jeff, and sitting alongside next to me is my real life brother, not storyline brother, Scott. Scott, say hello.
Hello.
Scott, what's going on, dude?
It's been a better week, and for that, Jeff, I am thankful.
Yeah, because your Yankees accumulated their bullpen for the playoff race.
Well, I mean, outside of the frantic trade deadline and my team, yes, structuring their bullpen a little bit better, adding some arms. No, we haven't. I don't want to jinx us, right? Like knock on wood, but it's been a good week, and there hasn't been bad news like there was bad news last week twice. So this week has been great. Like you mentioned, good trade deadline, no bad news. It would be better if my fantasy baseball team didn't all decide to go on the injured list at the same time. That would be incredible. But you know what? Sometimes you piss off the fantasy gods and they just have to put one in your keister. And that's what I'm getting this week.
By the way, going back to last week, did Sharon at Ozzy's funeral get you?
Oh, big time, dude. Yes. 100%.
We've all seen that video where just Sharon just broke down as she was getting closer to the casket. And I didn't shed a tear or anything like that. I was like, oh no, like that just broke your heart because it
crushes you. Yeah.
It was a love between a husband and a spouse. And everybody knows the backstories and all the stories regarding Ozzy and Sharon, but you know, she absolutely adored Ozzy and Ozzy adored her. So anyways, yeah, that was one of those that was kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah, one of those soul-crushing scenes. But the crazy part is, I don't know if you caught this or even looked at it, but Kelly Osbourne, Ozzy's daughter, is a dead ringer for Ozzy. She was wearing those circle-shaped sunglasses like Ozzy always wore, and her hair was pulled back, like super tight. Like, she is a dead ringer for Ozzy. It's not even funny. Like, go look at the pictures from the funeral, because she's really skinny like Ozzy was too. So between the glasses, the hair pulled back, her facial structure, oh my gosh, like it's like you're looking at a really young female Ozzy. It's insane. I mean, duh, it's his daughter, but like the resemblance is very, very striking.
Last week was a little hard. It was tough doing that show, going back and editing the podcast last week. Difficult to get through. So anyways.
I'm sure it was, dude. But on a brighter note, we had a great live stream with Shawn Ng from the KWK brand. Had some guests on. We had Mario Mancini and we had Jameson, which if you had told me back in 1989 that, hey, Scott, you and your brother are going to have a figure or a podcast about wrestling figures one day, I would have been like, what the hell is a podcast? And they would say, well, it's a thing where you basically release it to the universe and it's you just talking with your brother about wrestling figures and a bunch of people are going to listen to it. I've been like, yeah, that sounds like us. I hate his guts. I can't stand him. But you know what? That may change one day. So I'll buy it. And then they said, hey, Scott, guess what? This podcast you're going to have, you're going to talk to Jameson. I would have said, all right, now you're full of shit. I don't believe a word coming out of your mouth. Go away. Jump back in your spaceship and fly away.
It was a fun live stream. Mario
It really
Mancini
was.
Mario Mancini was fantastic. And for those that don't know Mario Mancini was he doesn't mind using the term jobber back
Jobber
in
to the
80s.
stars.
Yep, he was a jobber to the stars, and he was a jobber from 84 to 92 in the WWF, and he was on our TV every Saturday jobbing out. However, we got to talk to him, and you know what? He blew us away. He was awesome. He was fun on that live. You guys can go back and find it on our YouTube account. So if you can, go back and watch it. It is long. You can hit the fast forward button. You can skip ahead, skip a bit, brother.
Yeah, skip a bit, brother. But listen to the interviews.
Listen to the interviews, and also listen to what Shawn has to say regarding figures. He goes over a lot of the stuff that he wants to talk about, or figures that he's got coming up, as well as lineups coming up, as well as the KWK club. There's so much given in that show. So I highly recommend it. The interview with Jameson was fantastic. The interview with Mario was great. Loved talking to Mario. It was a lot of fun, and we highly recommend that you guys go back and watch that.
Yeah, big thanks to Joe as well for coming on. Fantastic work that guy does. But yeah, the interview with Mario Mancini and Jameson, both, I became even bigger fans of those guys. You mentioned, Jeff, Mario Mancini was in the Federation, WWF, from 84 until 92. Mm-hmm. And people are like, he's a jobber. Okay. He doesn't mind that term. And in the interview, he explains why. But to be in the Federation for 8 consecutive years and put over all of the top guys that came through that promotion, primarily heels that came through that promotion, to keep your job that long anywhere is very impressive. In the cutthroat world of professional wrestling, especially in the golden era going into the 90s, that makes it even more impressive. And he's got a great story about the Undertaker match that he did. That was Undertaker's first televised match, like not Survivor Series, but his first like Saturday morning show wrestling match. And he's got a great story from it that's going to make you want to go back and watch that match. I guarantee it. Because everybody during the interview was like, well, now I've got to go watch it. And he said that everybody does the same thing when he tells that story. But amazing stories from him. Great time talking to Jameson. We all know and love him from his stuff with the Bushwhackers. But we really love him for the stuff he did with Bobby. Mm-hmm. And I had a great time just listening to the stories. You did a great job hosting. Once again, I was kind of behind the scenes running the technical stuff. But sorry,
cough button, brother.
Sorry. But I had a great time talking to everybody. Joe, Shawn, Mario Mancini, Jameson. A little bit of a technical difficulty there getting Pat Tanaka on, but we will one day. Great stuff from Shawn on the reveals. Awesome live stream. It's always fun. Like Jeff said, it's long, but you can fast forward if you want. But definitely make it a point. Check out those interviews. Look at his great stuff he's got coming out. All around, Jeff, pun intended. Job well done.
Well, it was a job well done by all of us involved. So,
and job well done on well done.
Yes, job. Oh, I see what you did. Oh,
that's why I said leading off.
Okay.
Pun intended.
Okay, I wasn't thinking about that.
That's all right. You know what? We're late in the week. You've been working hard this week. Your brain's elsewhere. Your brain's on the trade deadline, and your Giants reshuffling things. It's okay, dude. You get a pass.
Dude, you ain't kidding, dude. Last week wore me out. And I was coming home taking 2-hour naps and then getting up and doing the drunk walk back to bed. Well, I wasn't drunk, but I was doing this, kind of waking
felt like
up,
it though.
Stumbling against the hallway walls and stuff, getting, basically using Listerine and saying, okay, that's good for my brushing of teeth, and then go right to bed.
That's fine.
That's fine.
I'll just hear it from the dentist later. It's fine.
You guys know where to find our shirts. You guys know where to follow us. You guys know where to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, of course. And you can send us any audio questions, or anything else at all. Send it on over to Fullyposeable WFP at gmail.com. It is omission time.
Which I read this on your notes.
Yeah.
And I would have sworn that we got this right, but you said that we got it wrong, which is funny because I would have swore we knew at the time that we recorded that it was from Target, but I don't know.
I'll take ownership on this one, brother, because I really thought it was Walmart, and I must have blurted out Walmart, even though I think you had down on your notes it was Target. So for some reason in my head it was Walmart. I don't know why. Who knows? Everybody's scouring Walmart's website. Where is it? They said it.
But they said.
But it is omission time. The Piper set is Target exclusive, not Walmart exclusive.
And you know what? Let me check. Well, I mean, while we're talking about it, because it did go up for pre-order, either like right after we recorded or the very next day. Let me see. Oh, I even have it in my previous search. Still available for pre-order.
Oh, okay. All right.
$64.99 on Target, not Walmart. And I had some other stuff on here that I had looked at. Let's see. What else is up here? I had looked up that LJN Hogan. Oh, that's not even showing up in my search anymore.
They took it down.
I'm wondering if they did.
They being Target, of course.
Yeah. It sold out immediately. I don't even see it on Target now.
There were some question marks regarding it right after Hogan had passed. You know, a lot of Hogan stuff kind of got shuffled out during Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Don't know why. You know, one day we'll find out. Well, it came back in, the LJN Hogan, and sold out on pre-order almost immediately when it dropped on Tuesday, Monday, one of those days.
Yeah, one of those.
So it basically sold out. The pre-order sold out, I should say, almost immediately. So Hogan LJN, that is very reminiscent of Series 1 Hogan LJN from 1980. Was it 85, 84, 84, 85?
84, 85.
84, 85. Brian from the Legendary podcast needs to correct me on that.
It was like end of 84, early 85, depending on when it hit your area.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, that sold out almost immediately on pre-order, but hopefully those will be going in stock.
October 30th is the street date. And here's why I didn't pre-order it. And I also want to say it's $25. When we recorded last week, we didn't know what the LJNs were going to be priced at. They're $25, which if you're doing the math at home, that's half of a BRG. So I had mentioned last week, I don't think that the BRGs and the LJNs are going to be competition. I mean, you still have separate rosters, a different pool of names to draw from to make your stuff. I get that. But half? That is
you know what I compare this back to? When we first started the show and Mattels were $19.99, Mattel Elites, now they're $24.99.
Yes.
And FTC were the only two players in the game. And
right.
FTC was coming in at $30.
25 to 30. Yes, correct.
On top of that, they had the shipping on top of that. So
yes, they did.
This is what I kind of compare it to. This is a personal opinion. The BRGs are going to take a little bit of a hit. I mean, it's an honest opinion. However, similar to FTC back in the day, they had a different pool of names, like you had just mentioned, Scott, that they can pull from, that they have the rights to, that they are going to make. And these are names that we want. They have the rights to Macho. They have the Rock and Roll Express. They have the Road Warriors. They have
Powers of Pain, British Bulldogs, Magnum TA, Dusty Rhodes.
There are
a huge and Bad News Brown.
And they're not stopping either. They've got the MLB license. They're going to be okay.
They're definitely going to be okay. Agree 100%.
I'm not concerned. Granted, that price point, that is a pretty daunting difference. But the BRGs and the major guys, they're going to be fine. They're going to be all right. They've got so many licenses to work with.
Strength of roster.
Exactly, Scott. And they have names that they are going to be able to pull from and make that we want. I have to be honest, I do think that they're going to take a little bit of a hit because people are going to wait for a Dusty, or they're going to wait for Davy Boy, or, whatever it may be from Mattel. There are going to be the people that wait for that. But it's a good thing that BRG's already released those and already put out the Davy Boys and already put out the Dusties.
Yep.
So they're going to be all right. It's kind of similar to Mattel and FTC from 2016.
I would agree with that. It's a similar situation. The price discrepancy isn't as high as it is between the Mattel LJNs and the BRGs. But you're right. Being the strength of roster and the different pools that they have to draw from, people may grouse a little bit at the price point of BRGs. But I think with BRGs, you've proven that the quality is there and it's worth your purchase. And B, if you really want that name, you're going to drop the cash on it. I think that's been proven, right? Is this going to make people more selective in what they're adding to their collection? I think so. I think it is, because now your LJN pool has essentially doubled because you're getting BRG and Mattel making that LJN style now. So maybe you're cutting out other ones in the Mattel line to fund 100% LJN. Maybe you're not buying retros anymore to do LJNs, or maybe you're not in LJNs at all because you're like, man, there's so many good retros coming out, and Mattel still got great stuff coming out. Look at all these AEW figures too. Who knows? Maybe you're not even in on LJNs. But the reason I didn't pre-order that Hogan, great price point, by the way, $25, you can't complain about it. The reason I didn't pre-order it is because I want to have that feeling again of going into a store and picking it up. Now, am I going to be able to find the Hogan on the pegs? Of course not. But here's what you do. The night before they go on live sale, which is October 30th, you stay up late, you open your Target app, you bring up that LJN Hogan, and you keep refreshing the page. And as soon as that lights up with add to cart, you add it to your cart and set it for store pickup the next day.
Oh. Well,
that's how I've done the Legends. Yeah, cheat code. That's what I've done with the Legends the last few series on names that I really wanted. And I just went and did store pickup. Normally I do curbside. For the Hogan, I'm going inside the store because I want to be inside of a store with an LJN in hand again, just like it was back in '87 when we would go bug Barbara and she would bring stuff out of the back for us, and we'd go up to the cash register with figures in hand. You had a stack, I had a stack, the good old days. I want to buy that Hogan or receive that Hogan inside of a store. I just want that feeling again.
Well, as Scott said, those go on sale October 30th. The pre-order has come and gone on all BR. Oh, actually, no, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the only one left was Logan Paul or something like that?
If I had to guess, that's the only one left. Yeah. But you know what would be great, Jeff, is if we could have Kanik on to talk about all of this excitement with LJN style figures. Oh, wait, guess who's going to be on our show next week? Mr. Kanik himself.
Da, 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 da.
And you thought you were the king of segues.
I know. Good job.
You still
dude.
are. I just took a little bit of your crown. That's all.
That's all right. That's all right. So yes, as you said, Michael Kanik will be on to talk about everything next week. Is everything on the table?
We'll find out. Usually Kanik is an open book.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. We're like, is there anything off limits? He's like, nah. Him and Shawn Ng are almost identical in that regard. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what? Just throw it. We're good. I'd imagine it's going to be that way. It'll be the same.
Scott, have you picked up anything?
Surprisingly, no. Still got that money sitting on Amazon in the form of a gift card of $75. I really think that's going to go towards that Coliseum collection, Honky and Ultimate Warrior.
Okay.
But at the same time, I really wish that Jesse and King Kong Bundy that's on RSC was on Amazon, because I'd rather have that set than the Warrior and Honky, as weird as that sounds, because I've already got a bunch of Warriors. I've already got a few Honkies, but I don't have a Jesse and I don't have a Bundy. So I'm like, damn it. Why couldn't it have waited one more? I mean, super happy for Ringside. They got Coliseum collection. That's fantastic. But it's like, damn, why couldn't Amazon got one more? Just one. They got two. They got Boss Man and Bigelow, and they got the Warrior and Honky. But damn it. Like, I really want. So I am going to get that, both sets at some point, but that money's probably going to go towards the Warrior and Honky. But no, I haven't pre-ordered anything. Tempted on the Piper's Pit set for obvious reasons. It's Piper's Pit. But yeah, going to be getting that Warrior and Honky soon on Amazon.
So I must say the price hike actually sucks.
What'd you get hit with?
Well, it's not what I got. Well, technically, yes, I did get hit with it. I did pick up the Great Muta Legends, but it was $24.99.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I wanted to pick up more. I wanted the Billy gun from the Smoking Guns. But at the same time, it's like, okay, now that's $50. I still have to pick up birthday gifts for friends. I've got to pick up other stuff. Just two wrestling figures are going to take up $50 instead of $40, where you're like, okay, I can pick up the two figures. I can pick up some drinks and the birthday gifts. And,
Can I put it into perspective for you real quick?
Okay.
They were $22.99.
Correct.
Which, let's round up. Let's call it 23.
Yes.
They're now $24.99. Let's, for the sake of rounding up, just call it 25. That's a $2 difference per figure. A $4 difference
in my head, that just doesn't compute that way. It's the sticker shock, honestly. It's the sticker shock.
I get it. Because now you've hit that $25 marker.
Exactly. And I know Marvel Legends fans are like, oh, cry us a river. I understand.
Yeah. We wish our figures were still $25.
Yeah. We're Marvel Legends fans,
Back in my day, figures were $25.
But I don't know. It's the sticker shock. It's the, that like,
yeah. Clutch your pearls.
It's almost one of those, where do you draw that line? I've now gone from wanting a Billy Gunn and Great Muta from this Elite Legends to just give me Great Muta and call it a day.
Well, you're doing like Dear Leader told you and only purchasing 2 toys. And in this case, 1 toy. You're doing your part. Good job, citizen.
Thank you. But I don't know, dude. It was just that sticker shock. And you're right. It's $4, right?
Yeah, you could have gotten a snack wrap with that. So you saved it. Good job.
Snack wrap from where?
McDonald's.
Snack wrap?
Yeah, they brought him back, dude. Yeah, they brought him back.
All right. Not a McDonald's fan, dude. I don't even remember the last time I ate McDonald's.
We've had this discussion. Their French fries and their breakfast. That
God, the breakfast
brings me to the yard.
Their breakfast used to be so good, dude.
Wait. Whoa. Did you disparage the good name of McDonald's breakfast and say it used to be good?
Haven't eaten in a while, so.
Oh, what?
Trust me, I would love to devour a sausage McMuffin, no egg, and breakfast burrito, but I don't. I make my own protein waffles over here in the morning. I make my eggs.
Gosh.
That's why I weigh 180 and got a belly out of like a 46-year-old.
Okay.
I got an Uncle Bod.
I make my own batter, you guys.
Make my own baby batter.
Full of protein.
No, I didn't mean like that.
Oh, I see.
That's kind of funny though.
They used to call them pancakes. I call them man cakes. I'm just saying, don't neglect your retail therapy. That's kind of needed every now and then. You know what I mean?
Well, I think I did that for my friend's birthday this past week, so that's a whole different story.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he got a Lego set. So. Anyways.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
You spoil him.
Batmobile.
The 66?
Yep.
Nice, dude. Hell yeah.
I told him to put it together and send it to you.
Is he going to do that?
Hopefully soon.
Okay. I didn't know if he was an opener or not. I didn't know if you were kidding with him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He is. Okay. Got it.
Funny thing is they were the ones that got me the Soundwave.
Okay.
Sorry. Check that. They got me the Optimus Lego set, but I never put it together. It's still in the box.
I can't believe it.
So they told me that they were going to get me the Soundwave, and I was like, perfect. I could put the 2 boxes together on top of my details.
Now you're not getting a Soundwave. They're just going to hand you a cardboard box. You're like, happy birthday, dude.
They told me to F off, and they're not getting me a Soundwave now.
Yeah.
Damn it. Shot myself in the foot on that one, Scotty.
Yeah, you did. You're like, yeah, I'm totally going to open this and build it.
All right, let's get into some pre-orders. Big Rubber guys, check out collectmajor.com. Pre-order on BBTS. You'll want to check out Zombie over at BBTS. He's got his wrestling figures and his other lines as well, his movie line. Other pre-orders on Big Bad Toy Store, Boss Fight Studio, Dragon Lee, Roosh, and Dralistico. Those are available on BBTS. Check out shop.figurecollections.com for their variety of retros. Also, check out Latoonie as well. We'll be getting to them in the news as well, so we'll kind of put them on pause. We'll get back to them in a sec. And again, we want to reiterate, go on to our YouTube channel. You can search Fullyposeable, and you will be able to watch that video with Shawn Ng going over the KWK line over at the Fullyposeable YouTube channel, where he shows off all of his figures that are coming up. They are very well done. I see what I did? I
see what you did there. Very, very well done. Yes.
I don't know where I got that pun from, but I decided to throw that in there.
And speaking of well done, his pre-order for the month of August
is well done. Check out all the places you can get that from. You can get that over at J&J Figures. You can get that over at the Asylum Wrestling Store, or
yes,
Asylum Wrestling. Just check out KWK Brand, where you can find all the places you can pre-order well done. He's got 3 different variations. Check them out. excellent looking figures of Well Done. So check that out for KWK brand on Instagram. All right, let's jump into some news here. Rush Collectibles, they put out a little statement on their Instagram. They said that Chris Harris and James Storm will be the last wrestling figures they are making. He will be focusing on in other areas, meaning I know he did some monsters previously, stuff like that.
Right. Yep.
But he added a little tidbit. He said the wrestling retro area is oversaturated.
We've kind of been not having like full on conversations about it the last few weeks, but we've definitely been alluding to it, that it does feel like there's a lot of players in the market. If your stuff is good,
it's going to sell.
Yeah. If you're transparent with your buyers, you're going to get repeat sales. He's not wrong. It is oversaturated, but there's a reason for it, right? People are still buying. You know, Shawn wouldn't continue to keep making these things. Zombie, you name it, they wouldn't continue to keep making if they weren't making money off of them. So again, we've talked about names that would probably drop out of it at some point. And unfortunately, Rush is one of those. We wish him all the best on everything that comes next for him. I'm sure he'll be successful with it, but that's now another name out of the pool of producers of retro wrestling figures. Mm-hmm. And I've always been the more the merrier. That's always been kind of my take on it. You always like to see people have different ideas for different names to sign or different designs for their figures. So it just sucks that another creator has left the game.
So that was a little thing from Rush Collectibles this past week on Instagram. Nerd Closet, they showed off their Hacksaw Jim Duggan retro style figure. And remember, Nerd's Closet is more of that cartoony look. So
and not Nerd's Wallet.
Yeah.
It's not Nerd Wallet. That's a whole different thing.
Not Nerds the movie.
No, it's not Revenge of the Nerds. No, it's Nerd's Closet.
Yes, it's not Nerds Candy. It's Nerd's Closet.
I like that Matt Maniacs line, but this is another one, dude. He doesn't have face paint. If they did Hacksaw with the American flag face paint, as we saw coming out in that Mattel Superstars figure, I think this one would have been a little bit better served. I'm not a fan when they do guys that don't have face paint. There's a very distinct look to these. Love it in the face paint look, not so much when they don't have face paint. Just a personal opinion.
That is Nerd's Closet Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He does come with the American flag and a 2x4 as well. And again, remember, Nerd's Closet is the cartoony looking retro, I almost said Hasbro, retro style looking figures.
Yes, that's what I meant by a very distinct look. You're right. It's very much more like a cartoonish look, as opposed to a more realistic.
Grapplers and Gimmicks, they showed off the picture of Kimchee with Kamala mask.
Were they listening to the show last week? Like, seriously?
Come on now. Come on now. But yes, they must have been listening because Kimchee was shown off as a rendering with the Kamala mask as well.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. Kamala's always needed Kimchee to go with him, and here you go.
Also, Grapplers and Gimmicks showed off their Strike Force figures, the retro styled Strike Force figures. Hands down, getting this one.
Oh, yeah, that's a no-brainer for you. And I do like that each guy has a different skin tone. They didn't just make them both the same. Tito's a little bit darker skinned than Rick Martel. So nice touch. Good detail.
Yep. So that is Grapplers and Gimmicks renderings that have been shown off. And again, you can find a lot of these pictures over on Wrestling Figure Database. There is a couple of sections that you can go and search out all the new stuff that's coming.
Thank you, Dylan.
Title Run Toys. Another one they were listening about last week, Scott.
I guess so.
Sketch art was shown off for Nikita Koloff.
Finally, somebody's making the Russian Assassin. This is awesome.
Another retro figure I need. Strike Force, Nikita Koloff, give them to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't even care what color he's in, singlet-wise. Just bring it. You don't even have to put the CCCP on the front, because I imagine that you won't. But, man, just a name that screams, I need more wrestling figures. The great Nikita Koloff. I hope he makes it to the BRG line as well.
Okay, now we will get into Latoonie. Latoonie went ham this past week, right after
They
SDCC.
really did, yes.
Right
Holy
after
crap.
SDCC. For their Everest figures, they're going to be showing off they did show off Macho in white trunks, has black stars along the white trunks. Now, this is the Everest series. This is the 12-inch series. It's macho. It's macho flexing. So that is available for pre-order. Also shown off is a new series that they're coming out with, and you might be able to best describe these. They're called the Wrestling Toon Stars, and they do come with a poster, very LJN-esque carding, I should say.
Right.
But they're 5.5 inches, and they are making Macho in red, but it's a red sweatsuit.
Yes.
No glasses, long hair, typical Macho look, picture Macho, and they're making Ric Flair. 5.5 inches. What do you think of these, Scott?
Well, so the Macho Man is like a, first off, I think they're very reminiscent of the Hulk Hogan Rock and Wrestling cartoon.
Yes.
I really think that's the look that they were going for with these. The package, as you mentioned, Jeff, very much LJN inspired. They do come with the poster just like an LJN would, but they look like they're from the Rock and Wrestling cartoon. Macho Man, you mentioned like a red sweatsuit. He's got like a red t-shirt with a white star on it. Mm-hmm. Red sweats. Think Hogan at 4 when he came out for the Macho Man match to save him. Like those kind of red pants, but they have a white stripe down the side and yellow boots. And he's got a title that looks like it's molded onto him. It's like a generic looking title of some sort. And then the Flair, because I'm looking at both of these right now. The Flair is in a blue suit. He's got his sunglasses on. It's like a bright blue suit, red kerchief or handkerchief, red tie. He's got sunglasses. He looks like he's ready to do an interview in the TBS studios on a Saturday afternoon at about 3:15, right after Arn Anderson defeats some schmo, or Arn and Tully destroy the Mulkeys. Flair's about to cut a promo. They're very reminiscent, like I said, of the Hulk Hogan Rock and Wrestling cartoon. I really dig the look of them. I don't know why they went with a 5.5 inch, but I hope they continue to make these. All right, Jeff.
Sorry.
It's because it's average. Okay, get your brain out of the gutter, please.
Sorry.
I hope that they do more of these because this is kind of taking a creative license with what you think that they would have looked like. They're just like, this is what we're going for. These guys obviously were not in the cartoon. I don't think Macho Man was ever in there, as best I can remember.
I don't remember him in there.
And this is their kind of imagining of, say these guys were in the cartoon, this is what they would have looked like. But they can now do this with the Road Warriors. They can do this with Demolition. They can do this with, I mean, Andre did have a specific look in the cartoon. And from what we saw in a YouTube video that you're going to be talking about here, Jeff, we saw the back of an Andre in a suit that's going to be coming out. So I don't know if that's going to be in their full scale or in the 5.5 inch line, but I like these a lot. And I hope that they continue to do it because, as I mentioned with creativity, it sucks that Rush left the game because that was somebody else adding their creative touch to our wrestling figures. I think that this is fantastic because they're taking a little bit of a creative license here and saying, this is what we think they would have looked like. And nobody's really done rock and wrestling in figures that were available to everybody. So boom, here you go. This is what we think they'd look like. And I love it because I've always wanted Mattel to do something very similar to this, and they never have. They haven't touched that rock and wrestling. They might now, considering Hogan passed away last week. Now that might be on the table for them to explore, and they have a lot of names that they can dip into to throw. But I'm a big fan of this. I really, really dig this look. I like them a lot.
They are fun. We don't know price point just yet. They just showed these off just recently.
Yeah.
We will get into that YouTube that you were just talking about soon. But yeah, these are fun looking. They're very cartoonish. If you dig the cartoonish look, then this might be something that you take a peek into. I'd be curious to see if there any articulation, or I would be curious. I would love to see the figures out of the packaging.
Yeah, from the look of the picture that you had sent me, it does not look like there's any articulation in them.
Correct.
But that's just a guess. And for all I know, they could be bendies or benders.
Yeah, and that was the other thing I was thinking is when I originally saw them, I thought they were going to do bendies. And I'm like, no, I don't know. We need to see them out of the package to get a better idea. But they do look fun and they do look cartoonish. And I've purchased a few of Latoonie's stuff and I can't wait to get it in. I haven't received it yet because there's still a lot of pre-orders and stuff. However, I can't wait to get them in because I want to see what their stuff is like. I want to hold one of their LJNs to see if it has that same feeling, similar to what we did on Saturday with the big rubber guys and the LJNs in the house.
Yeah.
You know, I want to compare side by side and just kind of get a gauge on them. But what I do like is I also like how they're thinking outside the box. They don't have any fear putting Macho as Cyclops. They don't have any fear putting Macho in an Everest series with white trunks and black stars, even though that's not a look I don't ever remember Macho being in, but they're not afraid to do that.
Or Flair losing his shit in an interview with Mean Gene Okerlund in the middle of the ring and tearing his clothes off. They're going to put out a figure of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're thinking outside the box, and that's what I love. I love
I agree.
You know, does it hurt their business? We don't know. But at the same time, I give them a lot of credit for doing it and running with it and doing something outside the box that a lot of people probably wouldn't go that route, to say the least. So,
well, and to add to your point, Jeff, what you're about to talk about in a little bit with their YouTube video, there's going to be exactly that. But let me go back real quick. You had mentioned on Saturday, we had hung out with Big Dave after doing the live stream with Shawn. Mm-hmm. You had opened up your Warlord BRG. And you currently have some LJNs on display. And what we were telling Dave is they being the majors, went out of their way to make sure that the rubber that the BRGs are made of was as close as possible to what you got and felt in an LJN style figure. Now, I remember those Young Bucks that came out about 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, when they brought back the LJN brand, right? And then they gave us the Young Bucks and the tag team box set. It was beautiful, amazing. But then people started to open them and they're starting to hold them. And they're like, these are more like OSFTMs than they are LJNs. And that was kind of a sore spot for some people, right? The presentation was there, but the feel wasn't. So when BRGs came out, it was very important that they matched that feel of the figure. And in my opinion, they got as close as possible that you can actually get to holding an original LJN. That's going to be important for Mattel, I think, even at their price point of $25, which again is half of what a BRG costs you. If the LJN Mattel figures come out and they don't feel like an LJN figure, even at $25, I'm not saying the line's going to fail, but it's going to decrease a lot of collector excitement that it's not a same.
Yeah.
Whereas with the BRGs, it's about, it's same, almost identical.
Yep.
It's not 100%, but it's almost identical. Mattel needs to hit that mark. That's very important for them. So I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot to mention it earlier, that in doing the side-by-side, I think it's imperative that Mattel make that same feel that the BRGs have done. Even at $25. You still want to match it. So back to Latoonie, they are definitely doing stuff that's off the wall. And like you, Jeff, I dig it. Not everything is going to land with everybody, but they're going to have a lot of stuff that does land with a lot of people. So great for them, dude. They're thinking outside the box. They're finding their own little niche. They're not doing what everybody else is doing, and more power to them. I love it.
Also with Latoonie, they showed off on their giant figures, their LJN style figures, Macho in a white tank top as well. Now, over on their YouTube channel, over on Latoonie's YouTube channel, I should say, one of the creators from Latoonie was showing off this is their LJN, not LJN style because it was articulated.
So this is 100% landing where you're talking about going outside the box and doing things that nobody else is doing. Other people are doing LJN style. Latoonie's doing LJN style. What nobody else is doing is making LJN style with articulation. Mm-hmm. That's what Latoonie's now doing. And dude, as kids, if our LJNs were articulated, oh my goodness. I may have actually used Rick Rude and Honky Tonk Man more. You know what I mean? Like that Rick Rude figure, that might have been a game changer for it. If you could at least raise the arms to do a rude awakening, hey, suddenly there's some playability here, and I'm not just tossing them into the pile to never use them again.
It's no longer trash.
It's no longer trash. So yeah, no, LJNs with articulation. Completely wild, dude. Who would have even thought, right? You got, you got to be, I just had a whole conversation. True to LJNs. They're like, nope, we'll give you that, but we're going to give you this too.
Yep. So what they showed on their YouTube channel, they showed off their rendering, they showed off their prototype of Animal in Zuba's pants.
Yes, and a tank top. His arms are curled up so he could lift weights. And he comes with a barbell with weights on the end.
We have talked about this before, but they actually had the prototype in their YouTube channel. Search out Latoonie, Latoonie. You can do a Google search. It'll bring up their videos. This gentleman was showing off his Animal Latoonie figure.
He's the one who we met at WrestleCon in Vegas.
We sure did.
Great guy.
And Inoki as well will be in that same series.
In the articulated line.
Yep. Also, they showed off a picture. It said that it was a Giant Machine and Inoki. They call it their Versus series. And it is Giant Machine and Inoki. Now, there were no figures to be shown, but it was just a picture of Inoki and Giant Machine, who was Andre the Giant, obviously.
Yeah, not as figures, just a shot from their match. So yeah, he's got the right to do Giant Machine through Andre the Giant. He's got the rights for Inoki. Why not do a Versus? So you got to imagine a 2-pack. I mean, we don't have any details yet, but thank you, Dylan, for putting that up on your site as kind of a teaser.
Yep. So that was everything from Latoonie. One other thing from San Diego Comic-Con. Now, when I say Ringside didn't do a Q&A. They do have an hour-long video doing a walkthrough of the Mattel booth at Comic-Con, but there's no real interview. Now, I will say Steve, Bill, and Magic do drop little tidbits throughout the whole thing, but there wasn't really anything that we didn't know, honestly. One thing I did want to point out is LJNs are 4 waves per year. So it's going to be 4 figures, 4 waves per year. That was one little thing I did want to point out regarding the LJN figures.
What are the odds next year's SDCC is an LJN? Do you think that they change course at all away from their 6-inch scale and give us an LJN instead?
What do you mean? Oh, you mean as far as the Comic-Con giveaway? Or the...
Yeah, the exclusive. You think they change course?
I hope they do.
That would be kind of cool, right?
Because I want them to get back to doing something fun. Now, you guys I'm talking about San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figures being fun. John Cena figure sold out, drop of a hat.
Yes.
However, it wasn't the fun San Diego Comic-Con that we were accustomed to. And we had this conversation about a couple of weeks ago, and how it's a cool giveaway, but it didn't have that San Diego Comic-Con feel to it, if that makes sense.
Right. Shawn Michaels, same thing.
Exactly. And to a certain extent, even Muhammad Ali.
Agree.
I don't want to trash those figures. And this goes back to a couple of weeks ago, but I don't want to say they pigeonholed themselves to making something fun for San Diego Comic-Con, but a lot of those. Okay. Yeah. They kind of pigeonholed themselves. All right, whatever.
They really did. Yeah. Make it fun again.
Wait, what does it make San Diego Comic-Con fun again? Make SDCC make SDCC.
This is great.
Okay.
These are your public school tax funds at work, folks, right here.
Dude, that's way too many acronyms right there, dude.
It really is.
I lose track after 3. That's why I love chanting ECW and WCW. But I mean, once you add more letters, I'm done, dude. I'm done.
Yeah, and KFC.
And Mickey D's.
And Mickey D's, yeah.
MC. Let's go get some MCD, dude. Let's go get their breakfast.
Well, I'm certainly not going to JITB. They have too many letters.
Oh, Jack in the Box, yeah.
That's very good. You got that quick.
Anywho, but the thing is that the San Diego Comic-Con figures were just fun back in those days, and you loved having those guesses of what it was going to be. Now, when was the last time that we were sitting here and everybody was all excited going, oh, what's the San Diego Comic-Con going to be? It just doesn't have that feel anymore because it isn't fun. Hold on. I shouldn't say not fun, but it doesn't have that same feel that the original figures had. Like, I'll throw in your Macho Man, Scott. I'll throw in the Shockmaster. Sergeant Slaughter, that had a lot of like, that, ooh.
Right.
And it was because of the LJN feel. So I'm hoping that they make it fun again. And I hope, and to your point, they use an LJN to make it fun again. So what could they do? Could they do the gobbledygooker in LJN form? That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Although the Undertaker the Undertaker and gobbledygooker didn't sell all that well on Amazon. So would they be willing to go down that road? But that's what those masterminds are for over there. They've got the brains to think outside the box to, hey, let's take an LJN and let's make it fun for San Diego Comic-Con next year. That's all I'm going to say is I hope that they do go down that road because it would be fun again.
You know what would make it really fun?
What's that?
You were just talking about the waves of releases for the LJN. So 4 figures per wave, 4 waves per year.
Yeah.
Give us a tag team box set at San Diego Comic-Con next year.
Okay, who?
I don't even think it matters. If you do that presentation and the packaging, the old school tag team box set, because you're only making them for the one event, so you're almost one and done with it. Because I understand production costs on that would be high. So you want to have a set amount that you're putting up for sale, done. It doesn't even matter who the tag team is in the box, because what's going to grab you is that presentation of the box set. I mean, You would obviously want to go retro team, but it really doesn't even matter who you throw inside of it, because people are going to buy it regardless. It's a tag team box set of LJN style figures. That is fun. That is different. And if they don't do it again, because we're only doing the 4 figures, 4 waves a year, if you don't do it again, that makes it extremely unique as well. So I hope that they do something kind of off the wall like that for next year.
Well, we'll see, because let's see how the LJNs do. That's going to be the other probably selling point is how did these obviously pre-order sold out right away. So Series 1 is off to a good start. We'll see how Series 2 goes. We'll see how Series 3 goes. But,
and all we've seen is pictures. Nobody's held these things in hand yet, as far as I know.
And pre-orders sold out on Target already. And the hype around them. And I hate to say this, but over this past week, I still haven't heard much regarding the Street Fighter and WWE mashup.
Well, let's be fair. There were some big events that happened over the last week.
Touche.
Right. LJNs got brought back at $25. So there is bigger news than the Street Fighter figures. And that's why we had this conversation on Saturday. Let's kind of let San Diego Comic-Con breathe a little bit before we're like, oh, dude, there's no interest in these Street Fighter crossover figures. Let's let it breathe. Let's let people kind of digest everything that came out from last week. And I mean everything that came out from last week. And let things kind of go over the next few months and see where the interest lies. Again, when the lines, they hit retail, we'll know if it's good or not, right? If the Street Fighter figures go 2 series and they're out, then obviously they didn't do that hot.
Right.
But I honestly think that maybe they got trampled a little bit in all of the news that came out of last week, social and Comic-Con itself kind of combined. It was like one big punch. So let's see how everything kind of plays out. But I think the Street Fighter figures are going to be fine.
Hopefully it's a fun mashup. Ray looked great. Warriors Blanca looked great. I mean, all those figures, M. Bison and The Rock. I mean, dude, just looking at that figure, is that figure of the year?
Well, it's in the conversation. Yeah.
Into the top 11. We'll see.
Yeah. You stop right now. I'm going to try to remember that you do that.
I'm going to try.
I forget every year that you're going to do it. Then you get to number 7. I'm like, this son of a...
The funniest part is just the look on your face. You're like, what's number 7?
I forget every year. And then you kick me in the head and I'm like, oh, damn it.
You start bouncing like Charlie Murphy before a skit on the Chappelle Show.
When he plays his hater. Yeah.
I love that, dude. So good. So good. I promise next week we've got Canic next week. Okay. Maybe the week after that, we'll get to that WWF magazine we keep throwing around.
Veer is coming.
And Melina will be here. We got Canada. Okay, so maybe the week after that we'll get to it. We'll see.
We'll see.
But we're going to round out the show a little bit early. Also, I do want to say, please go listen to the LJN podcast with Brian. He had on ring skirts this past week. By the way, Scott, we got to get on there for our rating of Series 3 LJNs.
Let's do it.
All right. So get the pictures up and then start, bring out the Kleenex, bring out the tissue. And then after you get done, then start kind of giving them a rating.
Don't tell me how to finish.
Don't tell me what to do.
Or where.
Oh. Anyways, it was a great. Nate shared a great story with his son, and I'm gonna just leave it there. It was a story about his son and Hogan's passing, and yeah. Anyways, go listen to that. It was,
and I understand there was some karaoke involved as well.
There's some karaoke. I don't want to spoil it. But it's really good.
There you go.
All right. So go check out the legendary wrestling figure podcast, LJN podcast, I should say, with Brian. And this week his guest was Nate Rink Skirts. Also check out our other buddies as well. Check out TB Toycast with Breaker and Travis. I'm supposed to be on there for Simpsons Series 5 of Playmates.
Ooh, excellent.
I know. I can't wait.
Right up your alley.
So we'll round it out there. Scott, for episode 497. Anything else?
Stay safe, stay healthy. Fig Life since 2016, and happy toy hunting.
By the way, we didn't even talk about Dave coming over and just start opening figures. Like,
are you still traumatized?
Dude, still. I didn't open up or I didn't even break one thing at his new apartment when I helped him move. And what did he do? He came over. He's like, here's a shipper. I'm going to throw it. And he didn't even break down the box and recycle it. I had to do it. That's the other part. God damn it.
Dude, you had 2 ultimate rings with Rhea.
Whatever.
2.
Don't judge me. Why are you guys judging me?
We couldn't find the Briscoes, the ROH figures, the Briscoe tag team set that we thought you had bought. And so we're starting to get concerned, but then we go into your room and you've got shipping boxes everywhere. So now we're like scrambling through these boxes. We did come across, and not only had you ordered 1, you ordered 2.
Let's see. I'm glad I did.
Better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry. I had 2 Hardys, 2 Briscoes.
Yes, that's true. You doubled up on all of them. You buy like Mom used to with collectibles. Mom always bought 2 of everything. 1 for Scott, 1 for Jeff.
Now you know where I get it.
Yeah, now you buy 1 for Jeff and 1 for Jeff.
Ain't that the truth? All right. I want to thank everybody for listening to episode 497, #FigLife. Adios.
Yeah. Fullyposeable. Let's go.
Jeff and Scott, the Toon Brothers, busting out the ring, but we don't take it out the box. MOC. Happy toy hunting. We'll see you next week with the OGs of WFP. Fullyposeable, thank you all for listening. It ain't no storyline, real life siblings. So everybody go and do your toy spotting. #FigLife, adios from the Kings.